Good afternoon and welcome to UFCU Disch-Falk Field for Game 3 of this three-game set between the UNLV Rebels and the Texas Longhorns. How did we get to this rubber match game here in Game 3? It started on Friday night when the Rebels came from behind in the 12th inning with a solo home run to win the game. Yesterday, Texas coming back to get Augie Garrido his 800th win as the Texas head coach. All 9 starters scored a run. And then you look at the situational hitting over the course of the weekend. Texas has been a lot better, especially with 2 outs. Keith Moreland, along with longtime Major Leaguer and Collegiate Hall of Famer Greg Swindell. Greg, when you look at Texas and what's happened over the course of the weekend, they swung the bat pretty well on Friday night, but yesterday they really got the bats going.
Yeah, when you talk scoring runs and multiple runs here at USCU Disch-Falk Field, you have to have the extra base hit. And you have to have Smokey getting after it out there in left field. And yesterday, Texas was able to get those extra base hits, also getting their first home run of the season by Patrick Mathis. But it was the doubles and the triples after singles that leads to the big score yesterday for Texas.
Well, you look at what Texas did offensively. The other part of that for me is Texas walked 11 batters on Friday night, only 1 yesterday. That leads to victory as well. When you look on the other side of the page to the Rebels of UNLV, they win Friday night's game. They do it with a home run from their senior catcher, Yazdan Bosch. And yesterday he comes back and hits another one.
Yeah, first 2 of his career. Who would have thought in this ballpark that Yaz would have hit his first 2 home runs? But he's been the offense for the Rebels this weekend. This was Friday night. Don't know how he hit that ball out of the ballpark. Just got the barrel of the bat on it, went over both walls in the bullpen. Yaz is fired up going around, and yesterday he gets the barrel out on this one and gets some extension on the inner half of the plate right there and hits it a little better into left center. Yaz, the catcher, and also has that mustache.
Well, he does have a nice mustache, and you can look at the head coach of the Rebels, Stan Stolte, in his first season. 1-1, as you can see there, trying to win his first series, and his lineup looks like this afternoon. When you look at that lineup, for me it jumps off the page. Justin Jones, Greg, has really struggled. He is a very good offensive player, 0 for 10.
Yeah, he's their catalyst at the top of that lineup. Coming back from an injury, he's been healthy all spring, but has not got a hit yet this season or this series. They're looking for him to get on base today.
And for Texas today on the mound, they go to their sophomore right-hander from right here in Lake Travis, the 6'2", 205-pound sophomore from Lake Travis High School in the Austin area, Connor Mays.
Yeah, Connor Mays. You see, he only had the 4 starts last year, but 29 appearances. He was going from starting to the bullpen. That's a tough thing to do, especially for a kid who's been a starter his whole life. Connor Mays did everything they asked him to do last year, twice last year. Once in relief, once starting. He had 10 strikeouts. So he's got the ability. You see right there, a 3-pitch mix. Needs to limit those walks. You talked about the walks, the 11 in the first game, the 1 yesterday. Texas won that game. He's a fierce competitor on the mound, is Connor Mays. And Texas, pretty good problem if Connor Mays is your 3rd starting pitcher.
Well, you look at the weather today, obviously much different. We've had an unbelievable winter here in Central Texas. Today, 69 degrees, still a warm temperature, but we've had scattered showers. It's been a lot of moisture on the field, not a heavy rain, but it's one of those days when you play on field turf, the ball's going to scoot today. It's going to be tough to play defense today.
Yeah, you got to be careful. I mean, I compare it to a slip and slide. I mean, everybody played on a slip and slide when you were little. I mean, the turf, when you're base running, your sliding needs to start a little sooner. And when the ball's hit to you, if it's hit on the line and you got to get in front of it, it's going to skim up there pretty quick. The mound is dirt. The base paths are still the turf, so it's going to be real slick out there today.
Well, Justin Jones will stride to the plate to lead it off. Matt Martinez, the arbiter behind the plate. John Bible, John Steers, and Jerry Johnston on the base paths. Jones, the junior from Henderson, Nevada. As we mentioned, a good offensive player, really good defender as well. Just hasn't been able to get that first base hit. We're about to be underway here as Mays toes the rubber, and here we go. Well, strike 1, Greg, as we get through this pattern. It's such an important pitch, in my opinion, for Mays, because it allows him to do so many different things.
Well, it expands your arsenal. I mean, from strike 1, you can go breaking ball or a fastball out of the zone. as can really any pitcher. I mean, if you're mainly a fastball pitcher, you're still going to use that fastball, but Connor Mays can go to something off speed, but now falls behind. Now 2-2. That's what I thought. I thought it was 3-1.
It's 3-1. And that's what a leadoff hitter does most of the time early in the game. Force the starter to throw pitches, takes a fastball right there.
He's worked the count now. He should see a fastball here. Should Justin Jones. Connor Mays just rears back. Look at him. He's fired up. He's fired up on the mound out there. First hitter of the season for him. See this fastball. He just rears back on a 3-2 count and throws it right down the middle. Here it is. Hit it. Justin Jones can't catch up with it. Look at Connor Mays after the pitch. That's a little emotion right there.
Isbell steps in. Freshman from Fontana, California. Kyle started Friday night's game at third, back at third here in this ball game, left-handed hitter. Mechanically, when you look at Mays, get to it after this delivery. Difficult play, not in time. Not much you can do about that if you're Cody Clements. He played it perfectly. It just has enough air. When it stays in the air that long, Greg, you're just not going to get to it.
No, that was a perfect executed bunt by Isbell right there. I mean, you want this ball on the ground, but this is, I mean, see Cody Clements in the back there. He started to his left. The ball pops up in the air because you're thinking bunt, it's going to be on the ground, and pitcher, his brother, Casey, might get it. That was in no man's land, a good bunt and a base hit.
Peyton Squire steps in. Sophomore from Phoenix. He's hitting the 3 spot the entire series.
Couple hits in game 1. 0 in yesterday's game.
Breaking ball, misses downstairs. Nice lead from first from Isbell. He's got 2 feet out on the past the cutout.
I'm sure Tress can recognize that, and Connor will too. There's the throw over. I don't see too many leads that big over there at first. Normally 1 foot is out on that green turf.
And you would think that's a decent lead.
Yes. You're getting both feet out there, plus is Isbell.
Just change a little bit. What you do, you come set. I like what he did. He came set, threw over quickly, came set, went quickly to the plate. Now it's a good time to come set and hold right here.
Yeah. If Isbell has any intentions on stealing this bag, you want him to plant his feet for one. You don't want good base runners to get walking leads, making plant out there. And also if you hold, and then throw over, those base runners, they can get antsy and they can start to lean out towards second base a little bit.
And if you get that front shoulder, your right shoulder headed towards second, you're out.
Got to strike him out, throw him out.
Ball hit well, scoots into left. And the Rebels have something going here in the first.
Peyton Squire, the game plan going up there, that at bat took some good fastballs by Connor Mays, but this one was just up in the zone and too much of the plate. Just reached out there and slapped it into left field.
Got on top of it. Brings Corey Poole to the plate, the junior from Beaverton, Oregon. Look at Poole. He is 2 for 8 on the weekend. Good bender to start with.
Yes, it was.
He's 2 for 8 on the weekend, but with runners in scoring position, UNLV's 2 for 21, other than the 2 for 3 that Corey Poole is over the weekend. So he's been the one guy that's produced in these situations.
Guess he's the right man, right spot.
Longhorns a double play depth in the infield. Mays is looking for a ground ball.
Keep going.
Down to third. Has it. Across the diamond, throw is not in time. Tailor-made double play. It seemed to be as Travis Jones, the third baseman, climbed the ladder. Jones, a big man, goes up, comes down, catches the bag, but right there stumbles when he comes off that bag. Throw is offline.
I don't know about this one, Keith. It was high. Casey did come off, but watch his foot when he catches this ball. He's going to jump up in the air and come right back down on the bag. Right immediately, he touched the bag and then tried to go back for it. You'll see it right here, right there on the bag.
That is close.
That's a very close play.
I think what Coach Garrido is out to have a conversation. This conversation with
Right
Darren
there.
Steers is about the fact is, did the runner from second interfere
On the slide?
on the slide to Travis Jones at third base? Did he interfere with the opportunity to turn the double play?
Right.
Got to
He
see
did make
that.
contact.
He did make contact with him.
Take a look at this one right here. He is stealing, so Travis is right there on the bag, and when he slides, he slid right into the bag. So from that angle, it didn't look like anything was wrong. It's just the runner and Travis Jones were both there at the same time.
Does he make contact? Yes. Went out with that foot. It looked like he tried to hook him.
A little bit, huh?
It made the throw come offline. Boy, that is close.
That's
at
close
first.
at first.
On both ends of the play.
Right now, if you're Connor Mays, you need to play a little catch. It's been a lengthy conversation with Augie and the umpire. You'll see the bag. He's on the bag, and that foot does go out just a little bit, but I think the rule states that if you're sliding directly into the bag.
Well, Jones caught the ball. I saw him stumble. I thought he might have stumbled because of the moisture on the field, but he definitely was hit. And that definitely disrupted his throw to first base, there's no question. We'll set the situation, though. 2 outs, still runners at first and second as Nick Ames comes to the plate. True freshman from Tucson. Oh for 2. He has started 2 ball games. Started Friday night and today. He's seen an awful lot of pitches. He's walked a few times in this series. Long time in between pitches right there.
It was. But normally, you would like your pitcher to play a little catch during that time.
In 6 plate appearances, Nick Ames has seen 33 pitches.
He's got a good eye.
He sees
He's
a lot
got
of
a good
pitches.
stash.
That's been the offense, the main offensive output for the Rebels sitting on deck.
You know, we've seen Yaz, the on-deck hitter. Both those home runs, the pitches were on the inner half.
Nothing fancy about that. He just reached back, let it go.
Do it
Ames
again. Do it
couldn't
again.
catch up. I don't change anything.
No, I'm going right after it. Definitely not going to try to get a breaking ball down and in.
Tardy on a fastball, makes its way into the stands.
That was a good fastball down and in. I think right now you go back to that one that you got the swing and miss, up and away, the one you talk about that looks good but can't catch up with. Big power hitters like to swing at those. Yeah, too high.
Runners will be off. Advantage UNLV here. It's hard to throw a runner out at the plate. A running lead from second base. 22nd pitch of the inning coming from Connor Mays. That will obviously load the bases.
And not for the guy you want to come up.
Bosch has been really good. With the bases empty in the series, he's 3 for 3. 2 of those have left the ballpark.
Yeah, they did get him
with runners on, he's 0 for 6.
They did get him in game 1 in this exact situation in the first inning. Friday night, he did pop up for the 3rd out of the inning with the bases loaded.
First pitch misses upstairs. Boy, first pitch strikes. Friday night's ball game, Texas pitchers walked 11. Yesterday, they walked 1. He's in a hurry right now. That's what I see him. He's in a rush to try to make things happen.
Connor's such a fierce competitor out there. He has to control his emotions right now. You saw after the first hitter of the game, he was walking around, talking to himself out there on the mound. He seems to be rushing a little bit. He just needs to slow the game down. Tres Barrera did a good job of going out there to calm him down a little bit.
Now he's going to have to come back from a 3-0 count. Swinging, hits it on the ground to second, and that ends the inning. How about that?
Wow.
Opportunities, 3-0 swinging, 6-4 on the putout, Texas out of the frame. Out of the top of the first jam, and the Longhorns come to bat. You see 6-time National Coach of the Year, a member of the ABC Hall of Fame in 2016, Augie Garrido. Yesterday, Greg getting his 800th win as the skipper of the University of Texas in his 20th season.
That's pretty cool stuff right there. Augie, one of the best in the business as far as wins go, and now at 800 at Texas. Just an outstanding stat.
Lineup looks almost the same as it has down at the bottom. Travis Jones in at third base as Jake McKenzie out of the lineup today. But those 3 guys at the top for me are the key. When they swing the bat, day 1, they were 1 for 15. Yesterday, they were outstanding at the top of the order, and that was the difference in the ball game for me.
They're the table setters. I mean, as is the same for other teams, but those guys, the stats don't lie. Friday night, no. Yesterday, yes. Texas scores 11 runs.
You look at the starting pitcher, Ben Wright, 6 foot, 185-pound senior from West Jordan, Utah. What can you tell us about Ben Wright?
He's unusual for a college. He's got a 4-pitch arsenal. He's got a fastball, slider, curveball, and a changeup for Ben today. He needs to get that breaking ball over early. We've seen pitchers so far in their first outing, their first start, struggle getting that breaking ball over early in the game, and right now he's ahead in the count.
You can see that the velocity's good. 4 pitches, find the breaking ball early, Greg. I don't think there's a question. We haven't seen few of the starters do that. A little bit of a cutter right there on the second pitch. I mean, if that's his breaking ball, it had a little cut to it, about 83 right there on the velocity.
That's good speed for that. His fastball was 91. Now you're throwing in a little less speed fastball, but it moves about 3 or 4 inches late. Let's see. Trying to choke off that breaking ball right there. More of a slider.
Gerbitz has done his job when leading off innings. He's 3 out of 5 on reaching base. That's your job. If you're about 600 leading off innings, you're doing a really good job of being an on-base guy. Zane, the junior from San Antonio, steps back in. For me, when Zane Gerwitz is swinging the bat well, that's what he does very well, is he goes the other way.
Would you say so for a lot of hitters? Because you see the ball longer, you let it travel?
When he lets the ball get to him, he's a much better hitter. He's still got the power to hit the ball in the ballpark to left, but nice job there. Odd hop. Ames has it in time. 3 unassisted. And I like to see him go the other way.
I've seen a couple odd hops down there at first base this weekend. I think on the turf, you wouldn't get too many bad hops, but there are little, but that's the sand underneath and the.
Well, there's just enough moisture,
right,
too, to make it
if you get
a little bit different today.
Get a footprint, heavy footprint somewhere, it might make a little indention.
Sophomore from Rockwall, Brett Boswell will step in. Big day yesterday. 3 for 10 at this point in the year. The Rebels have really done a nice job pitching. Their bullpen on Friday was exceptional. They haven't had a starter really give them the length that they need, and they need Wright today to give them 6 or 7.
Yeah, pitch counts have really gotten up there early in these games. And credit Texas hitters for having a good eye and making them throw a lot of pitches.
Chopped on the ground. Ames has could be a tough play. Relay to first in time. Most difficult one there is when the first baseman, a right-handed throwing first baseman, goes to his right. Tough play.
So you have to go out there. Now you got the pitcher covering first base. You have to turn your body, make a throw like a football throw, almost on the run, and lead that pitcher. Pitcher has to look back to his left and then find the bag.
Patrick Mathis steps in. This ball hit pretty well out toward left. This ball's carrying. It's got a chance. This ball's gone.
Okay. I hit one 405 in yesterday's ball game. I'm going to get up there my first at bat today and look for a fastball and try to drive it. Look where this fastball is. Outer half of the plate. Look at the extension. Look at the head on the ball. That was, I mean, he didn't even finish his swing, Keith. Just kind of made contact and boom. That's a strong young man right there to go opposite field in this ballpark.
Well, you can see it in slow motion how the head of that bat really came down through, created that underneath rotation, got the carry with the breeze and out of here. 1-0 Texas. The junior from Eagle Pass, Barrera, steps in. Really had a pretty good start to his season. I think he's had some really good quality at bats. 2 for 7. He scored a couple times. He's driven in a couple.
Take one more look right here at Patrick Mathis.
See the extension right there, and that barrel, that bat coming down and through and finished below the ball. And when that happens, you create that underneath rotation. One of the things that young hitters, it's a great teaching tool. Everybody thinks that a good baseball swing's level, or maybe you lift the ball. A good baseball swing's from up to down. You want to create that underneath rotation. 2-1 delivery. And that'll rattle you a little bit when somebody goes opposite field on you.
Well, you got a ground ball, 2 ground balls to first. That wasn't a bad fastball. That ball was on the outer half of the plate and down.
Ball hit well to right at the right fielder. He comes out, Endermean with the play, but not before the Longhorns get on the board. Patrick Mathis, big fly, 2nd day in the row. Good extension, and it's gone. Rubber match of this three-game set. 1-0 Texas as we go to the top of the second inning. And Greg, you just look at that first inning. UNLV looked like they had a chance maybe to break the thing open, swinging at a 3-0 pitch. Mays gets out of the inning. Texas comes up, a solo homer, and jumps out to the lead. Much different feel now for Mays coming back to the mound. First of all, he got out of that inning, and then the second part of it, now he's been staked to a 1-0 lead.
Yeah, momentum shifted right there. He was struggling to throw. It was 3-0. He struggled with a little command earlier in that inning. You're out of the inning. Now you get a run. Now you have a lead. You should feel a lot more relaxed out there this inning.
And Mitrin steps in. This last number we get, you can get statistics that are important, and some, yeah, they're important. 25 left on base in 2 games in 1 inning for UNLV. Ball hit right on the button, right at Boswell. AJ hit that ball as hard as you could hit it right there.
It was a good swing. Looking for fastball. Got the fastball. Just Brett Boswell was right in the right position. Didn't have to move.
Nick Rodriguez will step in, the shortstop. Was in the top of the order in Friday night's start, hitting second in the order. Sophomore from San Fernando, California. There's a knee bucket.
Yeah. He gets the feel for that one. That pitch last year for Connor Mays was really good. There's 2 in a row today.
Second strikeout of the ball game for Connor, who looks a lot more comfortable coming out here in the second he did in the first.
I mean, you go out there in the first game of the year, you see that good slider right there. You get some emotion out. Your first start of the year, you get the first guy out on a strikeout, you're showing some emotion, then all of a sudden base hit, and now you're in trouble. He's a competitor out there. He didn't want that to happen in his first inning.
Junior center fielder Kenyon Allen will step in. Switch hitter from the left side. Right to Clements, and 1-2-3. Go the Rebels here in the second. Longhorns come to bat, leading 1-0. Overcast and a lot of moisture in the air. You can look out. A lot of these sidewalks and streets got some moisture on it. But 1-0 Texas as we play here in the bottom of the second inning. Just tuning in, Keith Rowland and Greg Swindell with you. Game 3, the rubber match of this 3-game set. When not a factor that we've seen earlier, it did not help Mathis's home run that much.
No.
In the bottom of the first inning. Ben Wright out for his second inning of work. He'll face the 5, 6, and 7 hitters for Texas.
Just saw a college teammate of mine walking around on the downstairs. Dennis Cook.
Cookie.
Walking around. He probably here to see his ex-student Connor Mays pitching. Cookie had him in high school out there at Lake Travis.
Michael Cantu, the sophomore from Corpus, steps in. DHing today's game. Right, misses inside. With that first fastball, Michael's had a good series. Dangerous pitch here. I got to tell you, I'm hacking it. As the next hitter, I get 2-0 and I'm thinking fastball's coming and it's up. I'm going to try to get the hit out in front. 2-1 delivery.
Why do I think there weren't too many that you weren't hacking at?
Well,
True.
I came out of the dugout ready to swing. 3-1 to Cantu. It's an odd type pitch. You saw the sign, Greg, 5. I'm not sure what 5 is. That had a little bit different movement to it than what we've seen in the other fastballs.
Maybe we sold him short. Maybe he does have. Maybe the 5 could be the sinker, a 2-seamer.
Yeah.
Instead of usually you give a 1 with a little circle, a circle 1 for the sinker.
Casey Clements steps in, probably in a bunt situation here. Cantu leads from first, junior from Memorial High School in Houston. He is squaring. Got to get it down. Execution. I've heard Coach Garrido talk about it all spring, about the fact that, hey, we're going to go back to doing the things that we've done in the past. Get a leadoff guy who reaches. We're going to get him into scoring position, but you got to execute.
I feel Casey was a little late. He did turn around, but I think he was a little late getting around. If he squares around a little earlier, he'll be able to get that bunt down. Almost as if he wanted to pull that one with him.
Isbell creeps in from third. Get the job done there. Perfectly executed there. 1-3 on the putout. So that'll bring younger brother, true freshman Cody Clements, to the plate. And boy, I tell you what, these next two freshmen have made their impact, Greg, in this series. When you look at Clements and Tyler Rand, both of them have really had good starts to their collegiate careers.
Yeah, the big stage so far hasn't phased them. Playing in the first 3 games, now their 3rd game as true freshmen.
You can see some of the impact that these two young men have had. Look at that. All 3 RBIs for Rand have come with 2 outs. That is huge. And look at it. They're 6 for 16. It's a pretty good clip. They've driven in 4, scored 3 runs, and sold a couple of bases. So they've had an impact. Outfield still bunched, as they have done the entire series in the outfield for UNLV. They have given Texas the lines, both left and right field lines. Base hit to center, Cantu. Good anticipation. He took off. It was close enough to third to come in to score. Pretty good base running. Good read off the bat of Michael Cantu.
It was a good read because you got the speedy Keon Hill out there in center field. We've seen him make some good plays. This one is hit not far in front of him. Not sure if he misjudged it or it was just off the end of the bat enough. He plays it on a hop going backwards.
Cantu right there, he realizes it's going to get in there. Thinks about it, but then he realizes it just enough to, at that point, you're committed.
That's right.
You're not going to get back.
He's not going to get back if he does catch that ball right there. Good job. Good base running by Michael Cantu.
Freshman comes through again. Tyler Rand steps in. Freshman from Langham Creek High School, Cypress, Texas, steps in. Little hit and run. Did a nice job right there of changing up. That's a good play by UNLV, changing up and having the shortstop cover and not the second baseman.
It looked like the second baseman was kind of going over there, but it was kind of a delayed play where Justin Jones started and then read the ball was going to be hit to him. It looked like both of them were kind of going towards the bag.
Now 2 outs. Travis Jones gets his first at-bat of the 2016 season. I don't know that I necessarily think that you ought to drag bunt with a runner in scoring position and 2 outs. It's good to try to get a base hit anytime you can, but drive that guy in.
Looking for that knock. Maybe setting him up. Maybe bringing that third baseman in. Now he's just going to hit one right by him.
Sophomore from Houston steps back in. Lines it to right field. He got the jump done here. Here comes the throw to the plate. Offline. Gets by the catcher. RBI single Travis Jones, 3-0 Texas.
Travis Jones trying to get on base, like you said, Keith, with a bunt, but you want to drive that run in. It's a fastball out, not outer half, but up in the zone. Takes it the other way. Texas hitters have been doing a good job of taking the ball the other way so far these first 3 games. And Texas bench likes it from Travis Jones in his first start of the season, getting his first hit, his first RBI.
Back to the top of the order. Zane Gerwitz steps back in. Good execution by Texas offensively in this inning. Ball hit crisply on the ground. Jones has it to first, but not before the Longhorns do damage again. They come up with 2 in the second.
Accuracy.
Some football highlights. Here we go.
Welcome back to UFCU Dish Falk Field as we go to the top of the 3rd inning, 3-0. We have a special guest in the booth, a number 12 that people might remember, Colt McCoy.
Like this jersey, huh? Good
man?
to see you guys.
Colt, it's good to see you.
Yeah.
Talk to us about your off season and what's going on in your life.
Off season is going great, man. You know, I'm glad to be back home every spring. I live up in Virginia most of the year, and my wife and I get to come back for a couple months every year, and it's fun to catch up with UT baseball. We went to the basketball game yesterday, and Austin is like vacation, man. It's a great place to come home to, and we always enjoy it. So.
Well, there's a lot of different things. I know you played a little baseball growing up. Greg was going to ask you about your baseball prowess.
Yeah, my baseball prowess, I was all right. You know, I played a lot growing up as a kid, and when I got into high school, unfortunately, I went to a really small school. We had enough guys to play baseball, but we didn't have enough guys to play on the tennis team and the golf team and the track team. So I was the guy that played all the other spring sports besides baseball, and I went out there and pitched every now and then when the coach needed me to. But I've always enjoyed playing baseball, and all throughout college had good relationships with all the guys, and always neat to come back.
That's why I was going to ask that question. You just answered my question. I was going to ask when you were here playing. I mean, I remember I had a class with you. I quit halfway through because I went out to Arizona to help coach. But you had good relationships with not baseball, but maybe all the sports when you were here. Yeah,
for the most part. You know, we shared the same dining hall, and so you were around all the athletes. I probably had the most in common with the baseball guys. In fact, one of my good buddies these days is Curtis Thigpen, who caught.
He saved you today.
He saved me today. Did you see that catch?
He saved you today.
We warmed up over here on the right field side, and once I got up on the mound, I forgot that I was throwing downhill. It threw me off a little bit, but I tried to throw it as hard as I can, so that might have been the problem.
Well, you were 45-8 in your collegiate career as a quarterback. Greg was 43-8 as a starting pitcher here at the University of Texas. But between y'all,
how many wins did you have?
I won a national championship here. 75, I'll say that. Put that out there.
Oh, that's awesome.
You got the ring, Colt.
That's awesome. There it is. There it is. Number 3 is a good number. I like that number.
With what's going on with you now, you're back here. When will you start to get into, you know, I know some time off because y'all got into the postseason. Right. Congratulations on that. And I know there's some time that you want to get before you start getting your body ready again.
Yeah, I've started lifting and training a little bit, but it's almost split into phases where we're just kind of doing a lot of high volume stuff now, not a whole lot of weight, just getting your body back in shape. And you know, throughout the year, man, it's, you know, even though I didn't play that much, you're still training and preparing and keeping your weight up and staying in shape. So there's a little wear and tear on your body that you need to take a little time off. But we're starting to pick it back up.
Well, we're going to take a big league pitcher, one of the best in history, to analyze your first pitch. We're going to show you your opening delivery. We're going to tell you some of the things mechanically maybe you can work on for next year.
You tell me. I'm ready. They say I'm coachable, so we'll check it out.
We'll go after
this next pitch. Obviously, after the leadoff walk of the inning, May's trying to work his way back through here. Catches the inside corner, big strikeout.
There you go.
He's getting ready to go.
Getting on
Greg,
the bump.
take over.
No, everything was good except I think the downhill.
The downhill threw me off.
The downhill got you. Warm up on a mountain next time.
I will.
You got bonus points, though, for throwing from 60 feet.
Yeah.
I deduct points for people that scoot up. But right there, looked like you just got out in front a little bit.
Maybe keep my shoulder up just a little bit
longer.
Shoulder
up, downhill.
Okay.
Just sped up at the end.
I got
and trying to overthrow.
Yeah. So sometimes in the spring and summer, I go out to see Tom House out in California. He tunes up some of my football stuff, and I don't think he would have been that impressed with my pitching performance today.
He has pitchers throwing footballs.
He does. He does. Yeah. He'll have him out there when I'm out there, too.
Well, Greg said earlier we thought you might go into a 3-step drop, maybe a 7-step drop. We weren't sure what.
Probably would have been a lot more natural for me, I'm telling you. But that's the first time I've had a baseball in my hand in a long time. So. Yeah, you're right. Curtis saved me there.
Yeah, I saw it when I saw Curtis was going to catch you.
He told me when we were warming up. He said, "Put it anywhere. I promise you I'm going to catch it." Said, okay.
That was like riding a bike for him. He just
didn't
even move.
That's right.
Real nice play there, covering first base by Connor Mays, down to second. 2 outs in the inning, and back on camera with one more question I have for you. When you look at what's going on throughout the NFL and concussions, talk to us a little bit about that. I know it's been a protocol, things that you've been involved in. I know it's happened to you in your career. What do you see the future in that particular department in the NFL?
Yeah, I mean, listen, we all signed up to play this game, and unfortunately, injuries and concussions are part of what we do. I've had a few myself. I see the equipment side of things growing and getting better. They're always trying to put us in the best helmets, different face masks, all these things, and they're finding guys for different types of hits. You can't take away the violence of the sport. That's part of the game. It's part of playing football. You'd like to see them decrease. You'd like to see all injuries decrease. And I think the NFL is setting rules where it's really hard to not get fined if you're a defensive player. You guys, if I'm in the pocket and the guy accidentally hits my elbow, they're getting a penalty and getting fined. So there's a fine line between figuring out how to eliminate as much as we can from the concussion side and not finding these guys for playing the game. They're just they're playing full speed, playing fast. And so it's I can imagine from a defensive side how frustrating it is. And you hear that being in the locker room, guys are frustrated, guys are upset about it, but unfortunately it's what we do, right? You're going to get hit, bad things are going to happen. You just try to stay as healthy as you can, and I think the rules are in place to try to make sure that we can keep it as clean as we can keep it.
I know you're a Longhorn, a lifetime Longhorn. Talk to us. I know you've got the opportunity to meet Coach Strong and what's going on here, and great recruiting class. I know you're involved and around and helping in any way you can. Yeah, you know what? It's like, Coach Brown is like an uncle to me, right? I played for him for 5 years, and Coach Strong's a friend. So I love my uncle and I love my friend, and I'm all about Coach Strong and what he's trying to do and turn our team around. And to be honest, I think we're a quarterback away. That's kind of how I feel. Whoever steps out and play,
normal fans.
Whoever steps out to play this year, whoever Coach Strong puts out there. I've had great conversations with Coach Gilbert. I mean, those guys are going to have somebody on campus right now ready to play, and if we can play consistent there, I think we have the talent to go out there and compete in the Big 12 for sure. You ever thought about sitting in that batter's box, seeing a 90-mile-an-hour fastball coming at you? I'm telling you, I don't know if I could do it. I loved hitting when I was earlier in the day. That's a nice snag. Nice play by Travis Jones ends the inning. And when you come back on to tell you, thank you so much for being involved and coming hanging out with us. Thank you. Good luck for having me, Colt. I appreciate it. Thanks, Colt. Enjoyed it. Appreciate Two legends right here. 3-0. 3-0. 3 legends. As we go to the bottom of the third.
Baseball on Longhorn Network is brought to you by Whataburger. Bite into something new. Introducing Whataburger's Buffalo Ranch Chicken Strip Sandwich for a limited time only.
We're back. Thanks to Colt McCoy for taking the time. How about how that top of the third inning, diving play by Travis Jones to his left. Young man played shortstop in high school. You don't see many 6'5" shortstops. Played a lot of first base in his freshman campaign. Has made the move over to third base, and that was really nice. That's great reaction right there. Crossover and dive to,
That's what I was going to say,
take away the scoring opportunity for the Rebels of UNLV. We want to thank Colt McCoy for spending some time. It's always good to talk to Colt. As Boswell steps in, pops it up. Squire coming in from left, under, able to make the play for the first out of the inning. So one gone as Mathis, as Greg Swindell has nicknamed him, the Babe, comes to the plate.
That's what I've been trying to think who he swings like. It looks like when he makes contact, his follow through where he like just shoves that ball up in the air. Babe was number 3. He's 3-3. I mean, double Babe.
Right into the windup for his third inning of work. This ball popped up out towards center, and it's going to fall in. Allen misread this. Mathis hustling to second. In with a double. Allen just misread it. The big swing. The center fielder, Allen, took a misstep, Greg, and it falls in there for a bloop double.
Well, we've seen Patrick Mathis the last 2 at-bats. Hit one 405 and then hit an opposite field homer. He sees the big swing right there. Takes that one step back, and that's all it takes for that ball to drop in and out of the box. Patrick Mathis recognizes this. Look, sees, and he's busting it all the way to second base. Throw a little offline, good slide. That's a hustle double.
Mathis has reached now in 5 straight plate appearances, 2 walks, 2 homers, and a bloop double. Herrera steps in. Line to right, his first time up. Right now, 35th pitch of the ball game coming. He's had trouble getting the ball down in the strike zone.
It seems all 3 starters for UNLV have had the same problem. It could be being amped up. It could be the way Texas is starting to swing the bats. I think more than anything, it's just mechanical, where you're just flying open, you're just rushing your body. It's a good pitch right there.
Not much you're going to do with that. Even 2-0, you're looking for a pitch to drive, but not that one.
That was a pitcher's pitch.
Reverse pivot. Something you see a lot early in the season, where teams will try to put on plays that they've been working on. As the season goes on, you notice fewer and fewer of those plays because they're not used that much. But early in the year, when teams are working out, getting ready for the season, there are all kinds of pickoff plays put on and everything. They don't get used very much as the season goes on.
That's what we'd always say. At the next level, you do them all spring, every morning, all spring, and then you don't use them all year. But you never know when that one time is going to work.
Another good pitch to hit for Herrera here. Stayed away from him. Opportunity for Texas, who scored in each of their first 2 frames. 1 in the first, 2 in the second. And 2 walked his first time up, came around to score. He's had a good series.
Long look into that dugout.
Rebels at double play depth in the infield. Cantu is a candidate. If you could repeat that pitch over and over, you're going to get a lot of outs with it. A 2-seamer that comes back to the outside corner.
He's been able to throw it. First pitch,
consistent with it.
First pitch, get ahead, or when he's behind. He hadn't been able to throw it in between. tried it again.
Deep, bunched in the outfield. Wind picking up, blowing a little more out to left. Haven't been able to consistently throw strikes has been a problem. Because you get yourself in 2-1, 3-1, you're going to be in trouble if you stay there all day.
Strike one hasn't been too much of a problem, but just after that.
Yes.
Tries to nitpick. So if he can do it 2-1 and 0-0, he can throw it. He throws it in those counts. Try it again right here. It's the pitch he seems to have the most command over today.
Two-two delivery. Back will do it again. Longhorns with a chance right here, Greg, to blow this thing open. If they get something in the gap here, got a chance to separate themselves right now.
Good breaking ball. I've been right there. He's thrown a lot of fastballs to that one slider away. A lot of fastballs, and this one right here, just a nice curveball over the middle of the plate, just fools Michael Cantu.
First strikeout of the ball game for Ben Wright. Comes at a big time. Clements comes to the plate. Casey sacrificed his first time up. Before the game, my partner said that was his pick to click. He thought Casey Clements might have a big day, big opportunity right here. It's hard to click when you get the sacrifice bunt signal the first time.
You got bonus points, though.
You get bonus points for getting the job done.
Right. You're looking for that big one.
Okay.
Mathis with good speed at second. Difficult to throw out on a base hit. Good hitter's pitch coming.
Change up. Floats a changeup in there too.
Stan Solte told us before these games, he's the guy that's calling the pitches, and you know, he said there's been times when we've had to use the fastball and fastball counts, but you know, his theory overall is if we try to stay out of fastball and fastball counts. Two and one's a fastball count, but it increases that fastball after the 2-0 change. It makes as a hitter, I can tell you, Greg, 2-0 change now. Oh, I got to stay back.
Right.
And then the fastball, I see it. It's by me.
Sneaks up on it. I think we'll see that change up 2-2.
Breaking ball in there for a strike. Second strikeout of the inning, second of the game for Ben Wright as he pitches out of it. A third in the game, 3-0. The state capital of Texas, here in Austin. You can see up Congress Avenue, Lady Bird Lake Bridge. 3-0 Texas as we go to the top of the fourth inning. Connor Mays out for his fourth inning work. State to a 3-0 lead. Greg, what we've seen so far out of Connor is exactly what we thought we'd see. When he has command of his curveball, at times he can be almost unhittable because his fastball's got enough jump. But I think his key to his pitch is the ability to throw his breaking ball first strike.
And he had to find it early. And we are just in the 4th inning now, so the first 3 innings has found that curveball. You're exactly right. You find the curveball early to go with that live fastball, you're going to have success. He needs to have success with that first pitch.
Nick Ames steps in. Does this fall away? Ames walked his last time up, seen over 40 pitches. And just his at-bats over the course of this weekend. Really got a nice eye at the plate. Doesn't go outside the zone very often.
Connor has faced 14 hitters and has 4 first pitch strikes. Not saying that leads to high pitch counts, but it just puts more pressure on you. I mean, if you get ahead, it makes the at-bat a little easier on a pitcher.
Popped up in the infield. Boswell called off and then can't come up to it by Rand. You cannot. That's a young mistake right there. Rand called off Boswell, and that's just a mistake thinking he could get there. The ball was going to carry to him. Boswell was camped underneath that. It's just trying to be a little over-aggressive right there.
Yeah, if you're an outfielder, you see your shortstop camped. He was camped for a good 3 or 4 seconds. That ball was up there for a long time. And also in that situation, too, Brett Boswell can just throw his arms, you know, like, I got this one. As you see Tyler Rand, he's going to come in and slide about 10 feet outside the infield. I mean, he's almost a shortstop right there.
There are certain unwritten rules. The quarterback of the infield, as Colt McCoy was with us a while ago, is the shortstop. The quarterback of the outfield is the center fielder. But the outfielders have precedence over an infielder. If the outfielder says he's got it, Boswell's job is to get out of the way.
Right.
So you can see right here. You can see Boswell's. He's right there. Oh, here's the outfielder. Now my job's to lead, because they have the ability to call you off. And you know, that's one of those things, just being over-aggressive for a young guy trying to make a play.
He's got his back to him. He's got his head looking up at the ball. He does not know that he's at a full sprint coming in to try to catch that ball. And that makes my case where if Brett is camped, usually you'll see infielders just start waving their hands like, I have this one. Get away. So they'll learn from that.
Yeah, steps in. Had a big series. Big play in this game was a 3-0 swing by the senior catcher in the first inning with the bases loaded. Mays got him to ground to short to end the inning.
And normally you don't see turning points in games
Yeah.
in the top of the first inning, but right now I think that was the turning point.
I put a star on my score sheet. Gets the call right at the bottom of the zone. And the count evens. Ball hit pretty well to right. Mathis has a beat on it, able to haul it in for the first out of the inning.
At first, I thought the ball was going to have enough of the gap to fall, but right-handed hitter ball slicing back a little bit to Patrick Mathis. He makes a good run and play.
And Matron will step in. The senior from Las Vegas. Hit a bullet his first time up. Boswell was able to snare short. This one gets over Boswell into left center. And the Rebels have something working here in the 4th.
Let's see some stirring in that Longhorn bullpen now. Close to 60 pitches. 3 1/3 innings for Connor Mays. Right at 60.
Rodriguez steps in. Nick looking for his first hit of the series. It's a strikeout victim to Mays in the second.
Connor.
That was a nice play by Barrera right there. You're setting up looking for fastball in, Greg, as a catcher. And the guy's got a good arm, as Mays has got.
Oh, yeah.
And you have to go across your body. It is really hard to get to that. That's a good play.
Wow.
That's a saving play because that means
2 runners in scoring position.
90 feet.
Connor struggling with his release point right now. Mechanical problems. Skip went out there, talked to him for a second. When you're in the heat of the moment, sometimes it's difficult to just turn the switch and figure it out. You're fighting within yourself. Good fastball right there.
0 for 4 today are the Rebels, and 4 for 28 in the series with runners in scoring position. That's separated this series to this point.
Oh, yeah. Good job. You could hear Tres Barrera the whole time right there going, plenty of room, plenty of room. He's telling Casey Clemens, who's looking up, not at the Longhorn bench, that he has plenty of room to catch that ball and don't worry about it.
Kenyon Allen steps in. Switch hitter from the left side. Looking for his first hit of the weekend. Catch up to that fastball. Just a piece of it. Mays out in front. Another good play by Barrera. That one is more of a, I'm hoping I pick it. Because you never anticipate. Greg and I called the pitch, and you as a pitcher, when you thought fastball, I didn't think you were ever going to bounce a fastball. Now I call break ball, change up.
Right.
I'm anticipating in the dirt, and I never anticipate the fastball. That was a great camera angle to see that bender right there.
He came in with a 1-1 curveball right there. You see him stepping off the mound. Connor Mays taking a deep breath right there. Just fighting himself right now on the mound, trying to find that release point. Like you said, you don't normally throw fastballs in the dirt. That means you're struggling with that release point.
Chopped on the ground. This should do it. Clements has it to the bag, and Mays out of the frame in the 4th. Connor Mays headed to the dugout. If you play outfield, there's no defense behind you. And over the course of this weekend, Greg, outfield play has been a factor in the outcome.
Yeah, we've seen it many ways. Friday night with the wind blown over Patrick Mathis's head. Earlier today, we see a ball that's misread off the bat. It's going to drop in front of the outfielders for UNLV. And last inning, we'll call this one a freshman mistake. Coming in too far to get that ball, thinking he's going to have it. Tyler Rennie, the effort was there, but had to come a long way to get that ball.
Ben Wright out for his 4th inning of work. 49 pitches to this point, trailing 3-0. Bottom third of the order due for Texas. Cody Clements hits this ball right on the button. Diving effort. Did he make that play? Yes, they call him out. He was waiting for a signal from somewhere. What a great effort by Van Meteren to come in and make that play.
Well, you're not kidding. Like you say, the line drive at you is one of the toughest. The toughest dive is the one where you diving in towards the infield, the one in front of you. One, you're taking a risk of it getting by you. That's a triple if it gets by him. But what an effort by Van Meteren out there. You can see it right in the glove. Nice dive and catch. Saving a triple.
Coach Garrido talked with us in the preseason a lot about, we're not going to talk to our guys about, taking pitches, seeing pitches, cybermetrics.
Right.
He was talking about, and today, Texas is 2 for 5 on swinging at the first pitch, including a double and a homer on the first pitch they've seen in at bat. Can't hit a ball any harder than Cody did right there on the first pitch of the inning.
The difference a day or two makes. Friday night, they swung at a lot of first pitches late in that game and made outs. Now they're swinging at the pitches and doing damage.
Tyler Wren with a good start to his career here at the university at this point. Both these pitchers, that breaking ball has been key. When they've been able to get it over, they've been able to get outs with it.
There's times you come out of that bullpen, you know what you have a feel for and what you do not.
Two Hopper to second. 2 quick outs for Texas here in the 4th. That'll bring Travis Jones to the plate. Had a good ball game. First start of his sophomore campaign. A single to drive in a run. A couple of good defensive plays. Good start for Travis. Chopped on the ground. Isbell across the diamond. Picked out by Ames. Augie Garrido will be with us when we come back. 3-0 Texas. 3-0 Texas. We get the opportunity to go down to the Texas dugout and visit with Augie Garrido. Coach, I know you've known you a long time. Know you don't want to talk about, but congratulations from us up here on your 800th win.
Thank
here
you
at the
very
University
much.
of Texas.
Thank you.
You've talked a lot about offense, and offense is not anything more than scoring runs. I think we've seen that in the first 4 innings where you've done a lot of things that it takes to score runs.
I think the players are playing with a good balance of aggressiveness and under control.
Hey, Coach, Patrick Mathis, after that misplayed ball Friday night, it seemed to let a fire under him. He's turned into a different player these last couple games.
Yeah, he really has, and he's got that kind of power. He is the one guy that when you're around the batting cage, and Keith has noticed this before, when the ball comes off his bat, it's different than everyone else's.
It is different. Coach, thanks for taking the
You
time.
bet.
As when you hear that sound, there is a uniqueness about certain guys when you can, I know as a pitcher, you probably would face another guy and hear that ball come up. Who was hitting? Who's in the cage?
You don't even have to be looking at the hitter, and you hear it, and you turn
You go,
and see who that is.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
When I helped coach here in 2005, man that threw out the first pitch yesterday, Drew Stubbs had that same sound. It was like, wow, that doesn't sound like the rest of the guys out here.
Justin Jones will lead it off.
No offense to the other guys out there.
Oh, I know.
Because it was coming off their bat good, too. But just not the same sound.
Connor Mays trying to qualify himself for the victory. His pitch count, he's probably on a short leash here. He'd love to get through 5, put himself in line to come up with the victory.
Well, you know how to do that?
Short, quick strikes.
Throw strikes and get some outs, some quick outs.
Top of the order, and Justin Jones. Hit pretty well down the line, but hook foul. Jones still looking for that first hit of his junior campaign.
See if that was set up. Get that curveball down and in where that's the only thing that he can do with it, and then go away from him. He did, but went upstairs. You see Tris a little mad right there because he wanted that ball down. You had him set up perfectly for it.
Popped up, may stay in the field of play. Great effort by Jones to try to get there, and he is a big man. He's got a good stretch when he gets over. He can stretch a lot further than a lot of folks being 6'5". Young players find the wall first.
You heard Tress again. Find the wall, find the wall. A lot of communication coming from behind the plate.
Trying to backdoor him with a breaking ball. It's a big pitch right here. You know,
Well, for Connor Mays, if he wants to stay in this ball game.
Hear the communication there. Mathis right over the side. He gets an effort. You can hear the Longhorn saying, hey, the wind's going to bring this ball back. Our field mics. And it does. Anything down the right field line when you have a southerly breeze, it's going to come back to the field to play.
I think the way Justin Jones hit that one, he was had a little more top spin on the pop fly going the other direction. That's how that one wasn't able to come all the way back.
9th pitch of the at-bat coming to Jones. Downstairs and a leadoff walk.
Travis Duke, the lefty, getting ready down in the Texas bullpen.
And we're going to have a pitching change.
77 pitches for Connor Mays.
That was the number that you were thinking about. Will we have the information on the new Longhorn pitcher when we come back?
Connor Mays, the starting pitcher for Texas today. Had the fastball work and strikeouts of Justin Jones, the curveball of Nick Rodriguez, and a strikeout of Kyle Isbell. He'll be a little frustrated with himself, I think, just because he expects more out of himself. Might have been his command wasn't all there today. Did get into the 5th inning. But all starting pitchers, if you don't get through that 5th, you don't get the win, but also you just want to, you expect more out of yourself. And Connor Mays is going to be is that type of person. He struggled a little bit today, but got his team, he has a 3-0 lead. Got his team into the 5th inning. Now he'll give way to Travis Duke, the senior out of Pearland, Texas. 3.3 ERA last year in the 27 appearances. He's done a lot since he's been here. Pitched a lot of games. Takes the ball whenever you want him to. Never says no, never says I'm sore. He's coming in now to face the UNLV Rebels, who have a right-left combination in their lineup today. So might not be just a 1 or 2 hitter.
I would think he was probably going to see a pinch hitter, and we will. Cooper Ismay is coming on to pinch hit, the junior from Casa Grande, Arizona, who really has swung the bat well in this series. Ismay will pinch hit here.
Swung it well and swings it aggressive.
Texas has had opportunities, Greg, to separate themselves in this ballgame. They haven't done it at this point. Rebels trying to claw their way back in it. 77 pitches for Mays on the day. Only 42 of those 77 for strikes.
Struggled with that release point command. Just was fighting himself all day.
Good pitch from Duke in on the hands for strike 1.
Travis is never going to overpower you. He's just going to deceive you. Tough to pick the ball up out of the left-hander's hand.
Two years ago, he was outstanding. 1 earned run on the season.
Lights out.
There is a big gap in left center field. Ball hits that gap, it's going to produce a run. This could be 2. The turn pulls Clements off the bag. Don't get the 5-4-3 double play.
Good throw here by Travis Jones to second. Over to Cody Clements. Looks like he might have struggled with the grip a little bit. That made it throw offline, and that toe does come off the bag for Casey over there at first base.
Well, that was close again as well.
We talk about extra outs. Don't like to give up extra outs. You never can assume a double play, but Good throw there, and you would have had one.
Squire comes in, lefty-lefty match up here. Let's see this right at the end. I would say he was on the bag. That's just, but obviously we got it in slow motion.
Right. I
It's
think
easier to tell.
from that first angle we saw there, it was his toe was on the bag and the ball was in the glove. Yeah, it came off quickly, but it only takes that split second for it to be in the glove and the toe on the bag.
Doesn't get the call at the top of the zone. Let's take one more look at this. Just right at the end.
Right there.
Well, I tell you what, in slow motion,
He's
in
out
stop
right there.
action, he's out. Is he trying to keep that foot on the bag? There he goes. Throw to second. They got him.
And what a strong throw by Tres Barrera. I mean, that ball was on the bag. Brett Boswell was waiting on Esme to get there. He stayed with the tag, too. Esme tried to go around Boswell there on the slide, and Brett does a good job of staying with it.
Always as a pitcher, you like to see those outs. When I threw a pitch and I get an out on it, regardless what the pitch was. Chopped on the ground. This should do it. To first. Three 3-0 Texas, bottom of the fifth, as we go down into the UNLV dugout and talk with their first-year head coach, Stan Stolte. Coach, when you look at it, what Ben's been able to give you, you needed some length out of him, and he's been able to give you some length to this point and keep you in the game.
Absolutely. No, he's done a good job, and boy, you tip your hat to Mathis that first inning because the pitch was away. I think it was up a little bit, but he's a strong kid and put a good swing on that.
Coach, I have to ask you, going with the hunch in the first inning with Yaz, the hot hitter, giving him the green light 3-0.
No, we did not.
Okay.
that was addressed, yeah. We did not give him the 3-0, and that will be addressed again. And, you know, Yaz was the hero Friday night, and tonight that wasn't a very intelligent baseball play.
You got to be proud of your guys. Thanks all weekend long for taking the time to visit with you. Good luck as the season goes on, Coach.
Thank you, Keith.
Thank you, Stan.
Yep, thanks.
Really nice gentleman in Stan Stolte.
Yes, he was.
And that tells you a little bit right there why we were both confused.
We both looked at each other like,
did not have the green light. That changes the complexion a little bit right there.
Yaz was feeling a little too giddy right there in the first inning, which changed the momentum, even though it was the top of the first.
Esme stays in the game at third base. Top of the order due to face Ben Wright out for his fifth inning of work. Really done a nice job these last few innings keeping his team in the game. Zane Gerwitz steps in 0 for 2 in this one. No runs, 4 hits, no miscues for UNLV. 3 runs, 4 hits, no miscues for Texas. First time through the order, you know, that's always for me is that, you know, how does a pitcher adjust? Ben Wright's really done a nice job. The first time through the order, he gave up all 3 runs. Second time through the order, he gave up 1 base hit.
To see freshman Nick Kennedy warming up down there in the Texas bullpen, left-hander. He's got an electric fastball. Brother of Ben Kennedy.
2 sets of brothers on this club. Still good velocity from Ben Wright. That one at 91 miles an hour. I think he's settled in probably better than any of the first two starters, even though you can tell both starters for UNLV are going to be good pitchers as the year goes on. He's adapted better, quicker than the first two did.
He just gets the ball and gets back on the bump and throws it. Yeah, I mean, it's gave up the runs early. Might have woke him up a little bit. See the numbers: 4 innings, 4 hits, 3 earned runs.
It's the 5th ball that Zane Gerwitz has fouled off in this at bat.
Ben Wright just keeps, like Zane's battling at the plate. Ben Wright just has been battling on the mound all game.
Ninth pitch of the at bat coming. Into the gap. This is going to go for extra bases. That was a quality at bat from Zane Gerwitz. Ninth pitch of the at bat, doubles into left center.
Before the double, it was a quality at bat. The double makes it an outstanding at bat for Zane Gerwitz. Battle, 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 foul ball off, and get a fastball down the middle that you can handle. A good job out there by Keon Hill to cut that ball off. That's another triple for Zane Gerwitz.
Now you got to play the game. Get him over whatever way you can, either bunt or swinging, and get him in. First part done. Boswell with a really good at bat right there. Moves him up 90 feet.
Brett will get in that bat for the ground ball to second. He'll get high fives from everybody in the dugout for doing his job and moving Zane Gerwitz into scoring position.
Rebels will move up in the infield. Have to cut this run off at the plate. Mathis. You can see the numbers. You can see on Friday night showed great power. This is actually yesterday, excuse me, it was yesterday afternoon, but 405, you just don't see many go in that direction. And then earlier today, opposite field. 2 big flies. Right now he'd take a fly ball to center.
Oh yeah, any way to get that run in.
Right-handed hitter on deck a lot of times right here. You will, as a catcher here, that's the last fastball he's going to see from me. I'm going to bounce the breaking ball or he's going to see a changeup. There's the first half of it. If it is a fastball, it's off the plate in right here.
Yeah, you got to get it off the plate. I mean, in or way up and away. There's Barrera on deck. See him over here on deck in the bottom of the screen. Puts his hand up. Kind of glances off his face, it looked like.
Yes.
He's gone down into the Texas dugout to get a treatment. Patrick thought that was ball four.
Well, he showed him the fastball. I just do not see coming back with another fastball here.
Yeah, but you saw what he just did with that breaking ball. If he makes a mistake and leaves it over the plate.
Fastball misses, up and in.
Trace will come out of the dugout and take a look at that lip. He's bleeding again.
If it's bleeding, I don't think you can. They will force him to get some medical attention. They won't let him play with visible blood on his. I don't believe they will. As you can see that the conversation right there.
See the umpire like motioning down his face like the blood was dripping off his lip. You can see it right there, right on the lip.
I don't think it's just one of those situations, Greg. I don't think he's hurt. I don't think it's long term, but I don't know if you can put a bandage over it.
It's a tough spot.
It's a tough spot to bandage.
I mean, as gross as it sounds, he probably just has to keep doing that or just kind of keeping it from dripping by swallowing it, I guess.
Let's set the situation. It's an opportunity for Texas to really separate themselves right now. One out. UNLV will be at double play depth in the infield as Barrera steps in. He has lined to right and walked.
Ooh.
And lined to center to drive in a run. That is a missile back up the middle.
I don't know how that missed Ben Wright. That ball went right by his right shoulder. Quickly. Jumping on this first pitch, Trace Barrera. Watch this ball. That ball was behind before he put his glove up.
Yes, it was.
That's a bullet.
First time Texas has gotten on the board since the second inning. Now a 4-0 ball game. Activity starting to take place in the Rebel bullpen. Michael Cantu has walked and scored and struck out in his 2 plate appearances. Two hits and a walk in the inning, still just 1 out.
Possibly see another meeting by Stan Stolte over there. Chase Maddox in the pen for UNLV.
22nd pitch of the inning coming for Ben Wright. Thought he got the call there. Didn't. It's 3-0.
That'd be something with the next hitter being a Clemens and a Maddox in the bullpen. A couple sons of Hall of Famers, possible Hall of Famers.
700 victories in the major leagues. Be surprised to see the runners in motion here on a full count. And as a hitter, you just got to think like you normally will with a full count. You can't see the runners going and swing at anything.
Right.
Swing at a strike. Not moving. Chopped on the ground. Do get an out at second. That was a nice play by Rodriguez to move to the inside and make sure he kept his foot on the bag on an errant throw from Ames.
See, Ames gets this, goes to second when it throws it inside. Good play by Rodriguez. He's all over the top of that bag. Make sure he caught the ball and make sure he got an out.
That brings Casey Clemens to the plate. 0 for 1 in this one as he steps in. .83 pitches now for Ben Wright. You would think this is probably his last Texas batter he'll face. Just foul.
Done a good job, has been right. I mean, a lot of pitches, but not too many. It just seems like, again, like Connor Mays, the starter for Texas, just battling himself out there on the mound. .27 this inning.
Took something off of that.
With his last at bat, he did get a changeup. Wright finished him off with the curveball, looking. Steady diet of off-speed pitches to Casey Clemens.
Greg, if you know you're at the end of your window and you're trying to get through it, does it even force you more to try to make the ball break more?
Overthrow.
You overthrow
Right.
it. Just try to do. You know you're right at the end.
Right at the end, you don't want to give any more runs. Yeah, like the pitch before, the curveball that stayed up and away. He flew open. He tried to make it break instead of just nice and easy and throwing it like he struck him out before the previous at bat.
Cantu will be off with the pitch here. Line to center for a base hit. Rounding second, on his way to third is Cantu. 5-0 Texas.
Texas have been hitting the ball well on first pitches. They've also been working counts. See right here, Casey Clemens works that count. A lot of pitches. Gets a fastball up in the zone and a fastball count. Delivers an RBI single.
Cody Clements will stride to the plate, and I would think we're going to see a pitching change. Stan Stolte makes his way out to the mound. Wright, 30 pitches here in the fifth. 16 in the first, 14 in the second. He had to struggle a little bit in the third, actually 31 pitches in that fifth inning, and we're going to have a new right-hander coming in for UNLV.
Chase Maddox will come in for UNLV. His father, Greg Maddox, 8th all-time on the wins list in Major League Baseball. A freshman, true freshman. First time we'll see him. First time you'll see there him with his dad, Greg, at Wrigley Field.
A great opportunity to be a teammate and catch Greg Maddox's first of 355 wins in his big league career.
He will come in and face Cody Clemens. Dad, Roger Clemens, is 9th all-time in wins in Major League Baseball.
Well, between the two of them, about 700 big league wins. See the young freshman right in Las Vegas.
Stands on that mound. in the stretch position, just like Pops. Got that glove up there. Exactly.
3 pitches, fastball, 2-seamer, curve, and a change.
You know he's going to have a changeup. His father had a good changeup. He's had one since he was 2. Has Chase. Big moment for him in his first collegiate game.
And he'll face Cody Clements. Cody singled and scored his first time up and is line to right.
Roger's getting Greg on the phone right now.
Runners at first and third, 5-0 Texas here, bottom of the 5th inning. Four for 11 in the series. Put off speed on the very first pitch, pulled the string right there.
Both did have some depth on it.
Try to run the fastball. One of the things that his dad did so well was start the fastball off the plate in, tail it back to the inside corner. Left-handed hitters gave up on it a lot. They have a little bit of butterflies.
Oh yeah, he seems trying to catch his breath out there.
Curveball chopped on the ground to Jones. He has it over to first, and that ends the inning, but not before damage done again. 2 on the board for Texas, 5-0.
Hey, I'm Ty Pennington.
I tell you, you've got to be strong up the middle to be good defensively, and Trace Barrera's been outstanding behind the plate today. A couple of nice plays there, and then shows a great arm to gun down a would-be base stealer. He's been outstanding behind the plate today, no question. And Texas leads here 5-0 for the junior. From Eagle Pass, coming on, another young man that we haven't seen before. True freshman from Tampa, Florida, Nick Kennedy. What can you tell us about him, Greg?
Nick Kennedy has, I've used this term a lot this weekend, electric stuff for a freshman. He has a strong arm, a fastball, slider, changeup mix. Come in there and bring some heat. Might be too early to tell exactly what his role will be, where his velocity will end up, but the stuff is there. I've seen it, and I like what I see.
Corey Poole will lead it off. It'll be 4-5-6 due for UNLV here in the 6th. Good mix for Texas, what we've seen so far coming out of the bullpen of right and left-handers.
Have an abundance of arms, that's for sure. And they're not just arms, they're quality arms who know how to pitch, and they all know how to pitch with help from that man.
Hit on the ground, Boswell. Yep. One gone here in the 6th. Everybody has a different style, Zeke, of arm side or glove side, how they able to get there. A lot of it has to do with how they separate their hands and where their shoulders get ready to go to come to home plate, to be able to do that. Some people are very comfortable going to arm side. Some people are very comfortable going to glove side. What separates those two?
It separates how to do it.
Yes.
Your front shoulder, You drive your chin. You drive to where you want to throw the ball. That's kind of like your scope, your aiming apparatus. I always stepped also. If I threw a breaking ball, I would open up a little bit with my front foot because that would help me get around the ball in my follow through.
Chopped on the ground. Just scoots underneath. Takes that little bit of unusual hop. Clements can't come up with it. First miscue of the ball game for either club.
Cody goes to his left here and just kind of lays back on it. Let the ball play him right there instead of coming up and getting that ball. Didn't get that glove down in time. Went right through the 5-hole.
Brings in Ender Yazdanbach. First pitch in there for a strike. 2 homers in this series.
That's why it's tough. We go back to the driving that shoulder to your target for a pitcher, your front shoulder, the right shoulder from a left-hander and the left shoulder from a right-hander. That's why when we talk about pitchers flying open, well, that shoulder flies open. Now your target's gone. Your arm's flat and the ball's up.
You know, the shortest part of this ballpark is to right field. It's 325. We've had 4 homers in this series. They've all been to center or left. And that's the deepest part of the ballpark. Backdoor bender right there. You can see that right there. Nothing out to right. One to 405 in center. The others 375 at least the other way.
We've seen a couple good ones hit out to right field, but again, that south wind we have here sometimes can stop that ball and from going over that right field fence.
Push it down a little bit.
That was a good pitch by Nick Kennedy to Yaz. Backdoor breaker.
Matron steps in. Lefty-lefty matchup here. 1 for 2 in the ball games. Hit the ball hard twice, but both against right-handers. Senior from Las Vegas. That is a really good breaker ball right there.
It's pretty firm too, 77 miles an hour for a curveball. That was my slider. On some days it was my fastball. But I could locate.
Goes to glove side right there. That to me is what separates the guys that can become elite, is their ability to control arm side most of the time you can, but it's to control the glove side as well.
Saw Nick's first couple of fastballs were 85. The last few have been in the 90s. Maybe a little tense those first few pitches of the inning. Now he got a couple of outs. He's relaxing, trusting what he has.
Chopped on the ground into right for a base hit. Ames has to hold at second.
There's a lot of Texas fans gonna like this sight right here. Parker Joe on the left and Morgan Cooper getting ready on the right, going through his rehab the last year or so, getting loose. Possibly see him in this game today. More than likely we'll see him in this game today. His first action in over a year.
UNLV 0 for 5 today with runners in scoring position. They have struggled the entire weekend to get that big base hit. Need one right here. Nick Rodriguez will step in. He's 0 for 2 in this one, looking for his first hit of the weekend. Talking about velocity. Velocity definitely matters. There's no question about that. But also, there are guys that have velocity where you see it. Looks like to me that Kennedy does a pretty good job of hiding, so to speak. Not really sure where the ball comes out of his hands.
He keeps it hidden behind his body and also has a quick arm.
Take that a step further just to explain that as a hitter, quick arm means that once he comes set and starts toward the plate, the ball gets around and gets to you in a hurry. And then there's those guys that come back and really separate. Even though they've got velocity, they separate. You can get it, your timing mechanism. Those guys that get up on you in a hurry are the ones that are difficult.
Like that.
Gets the strikeout with the breaker ball.
Ball got out on Rodriguez in a hurry. The Horns are leading 5-0.
Over the many years of college baseball, not a better series between two schools that have great tradition in baseball than Texas and Stanford over the years. Mark Marquis and his ball club, one of the best programs in the country. University of Texas also one of those best programs, and that return to LHN next weekend as the Longhorns play host to Pac-12 foe Stanford in a 4-game set right here at the Dish. Thursday, you see it 6 Central, Friday at 6:30, Saturday 3:30 in the afternoon, and 12:30 Central Time. All games will be right here on LHN, streaming live on ESPN Watch and the ESPN app. That will be, and it always is, fun when the Cardinal come to town.
Stanford's 2-0 this weekend so far, and they've allowed Cal State Fullerton to score but 1 run in the first 2 games.
Stanford always has good pitching, no question. Rand leads it off here against Chase Maddox, out for his first full inning work here in the 6th. He came on to get an out in the 6th, in the 5th. We're in the 6th now. $8-9-1 due for Texas. At the end of the bat.
Got to be patient with Maddox.
Not going to overpower you right now. He's going to add some weight, and his velocity is going to come up.
Oh, yeah.
Got him with a breaking ball, not in the right location, but got away with it upstairs for his first collegiate strikeout for the true freshman.
There's a lot of times where you can hang them just enough. They look good for that hitter. That one way up in the zone. Looks like just almost as a softball pitch coming in there with the curve on it, dropping in there. Tyler Rand not able to make contact.
Travis Jones fakes a bunt. Did that his first time up. Came back for the next pitch. Lined a single to right to drive in a run in the ball game. Esme at third has it. In time across the diamond. 2 quick outs for UNLV. Back to the top of the order. Greg, in your time, did you ever get the opportunity to play against Stanford?
Did not. No, the only time we would have been in a regional or in Omaha, and we never faced them the 2 years we went to Omaha. And it's surprising that they have just the 2 national championships, and they were back-to-back.
Ball hit well out to right, going back. And Dimitri under makes the play, and Quickly, 1-2-3 goes Texas. Here in the sixth, 2/3 of the game in the books. Texas leads 5-0. Top of the seventh inning here. See some of what took place earlier in the ball game. I tell you, go back to Greg early in this game, no question. Leaving them loaded in the first, the difference really changed the sort of the complex of the complexity of this game. There's no question.
Well, the thing is, you never know what would have happened in that first inning if they had taken and scored a run there on a walk and then maybe a few more hits. Everything about this game would have been different.
New Chucker into the ball game for Texas. Boy, it's good to see him back. The 6'4", 220-pound sophomore from right up I-35 in Gerald. And in 2014, he was outstanding.
Yeah, I mean, he was going to be the ace on the staff last season, but the injury took him out. You see the appearances there his freshman year, 29 of them. Had a durable arm, has a good arm, and right now the struggles for Morgan Cooper are just trusting the surgery, trusting that it's not going to happen on any given pitch, and that will come. That will come. I never had the surgery. I've talked to many people that have, and it takes a little bit of time, even after you start to get back on the mound, before you trust everything. You see the first fastball at 92 miles an hour.
Well, he's got such a great arm angle with his height coming downhill. Hitters swing over the top of it. He'll face 9-1-2 for the Rebels. That's what we're talking about right there. You see that
downward angle.
Downward angle, and it is really difficult on a hitter to get on top of the ball. Allen looking for his first hit of the series. Quickly down on the count, 1-2. Going back to the point you were just making, Greg, I'm the same way. Obviously, I wasn't a pitcher, but you've known an awful lot of folks that have gone through the surgery. Most of them come back stronger than ever when they come through it, but it is that mental game that you got to push through to know, hey, it's all going to stay together and I can let it go.
Good start for Morgan Cooper. 6 fastballs, gets the strikeout. See a little run on this fastball, go away from Kean Allen, Hill there. Nice start for Morgan. And the thing for Morgan will be today he could feel fine. I mean, how's he going to feel tomorrow, the next day? How will he rebound after this? It's just a continual process. There is that point, say 14, 15 months. Talked to a lot of people. It's usually around the 16 or 17 month time to where it's like, okay, everything's back to normal or better.
Good off-speed pitch right there. Pulled the string on Jones.
Nice changeup. See right here. Looks like the fastball, but that grip and 11 miles an hour slower than the fastball. That was good arm speed for a changeup by Morgan Cooper.
It makes that fastball, instead of 90, look to be like 95, 98. It's up on you in a hurry.
Especially when you're 6'6". You're reaching out there about 50 feet when you deliver it.
Tough play. They're able to make that play. Anytime that you have a ball right behind you at home plate as a catcher, not an easy play. Reaches out, able to snare it for the second out of the inning.
This ball goes straight up. Morgan Cooper, the job for the pitcher, tells him where it is. Tress finds it. But how come he doesn't have anybody telling him he has plenty of room to get to the fence?
Well, a lot of people don't say. It's interesting he kept his mask on. I never did like to keep my mask on. I wanted to find the ball and get my mask away from me.
Gives knuckles to the fans on the second row.
Somebody said nice play.
Yeah. Right there. On the white hat. Got some knuckles after that play. Too much rust on it so far. Good fastballs, good changeup. That was a really good curveball. Maybe a slider, breaking them all out.
Each time he goes out there, he'll be more comfortable.
Oh yeah. He'll have confidence in the surgery.
Got him. 1, 2, 3 go the Rebels here in the top of the 7th. Patrick Mathis up second. He has had a big weekend here in Austin. Seventh inning stretch time in the Cotton Eye Joe here at UFCU Dish Falk Field. It's been an entertaining weekend. We've had really good weather. We had moisture and some rain earlier in the day today, but we've been able to get through the day and what has been a really good weekend for the opening weekend, especially weather-wise here in Central Texas. Corey Wilson into the game, the junior from Phoenix, Arizona. The left-hander comes on, and he'll be facing the 2, 3, and 4 spots in the order for Texas. Boswell with a really nice at-bat his last time up. Didn't get much for it. But moved the runner. Ground ball to second. He's 0 for 3 in this one, but that was a good at-bat there. Helped his team score a run. Hit pretty well out to left, carrying pretty well, but playable for the first out of the inning. That brings the man of the match for Texas to the plate. Patrick Mathis, opposite Phil Homer, double, walked and scored. 2 for 2, 2 runs scored and a ribby.
A tough night on Friday at the plate and in the field. Since then, a little hitch in his giddy up. A couple big flies, hustle double.
He's reached his last 6 plate appearances. He's reached base. Going to have to work now, down 0-2.
Wilson, fastball, curveball, changeup. You see a lot of curveballs to lefties from the left side. A little more of a fastball changeup to righties, because he does have that 3/4 arm slot. Sometimes that curveball to righties isn't a good idea.
I thought that was a strike, but you got to catch a strike. I always thought, you know, as a catcher, you always say, well, if I don't catch it, it can't be a strike. Chased one up out of the zone. Comes up with a strikeout. 2 quick outs for Texas here. That's 7 in a row retired by UNLV pitching.
We're going to get a new pitcher. The lefty came in and did his job, got the 2 left-handers out.
Well, that's one of the things you're going to do, Greg. It's yeah. If you're going to bring guys on a trip and you want to get them some experience, I don't think there's a question that one of the things that you want to try to do when you do bring them on a trip is use them in the scenario. I mean, you brought guys on the trip. You want to get them out there. You want to get them on the field.
And it's a perfect situation. It's the 3rd game of the series. You're down 5-0. You're not doing too much offensively. You want to bring these guys in, and the last two guys, Maddox and Wilson, they've done an outstanding job. They've retired every hitter they face, so you find out a lot. Now you know that the Wilson can come in and get left-handers out in the game. You learn a lot from games like this, and our hats off to them for coming in and doing well.
Let's talk about Morgan Cooper, and I don't know that we will see him in the top of the next frame, but what did you see him coming back? I thought he looked very good.
Well, yeah, I mean, he threw 4 pitches. He threw a fastball, he threw a changeup, he threw a curveball, and I saw a slider in there. So they were all there. Curveball for a strike. He looked maybe a little uncomfortable. I watched him during his warm-ups, maybe a little uncomfortable because he hadn't been out there in a long time in game situation. He's not trusting his arm right now, which is all part of coming back after surgery. So I thought he looked good. He had a good inning, and fastball was 92 miles an hour and threw all of his pitches.
I like the curveball that he used, folks. That's important. I think that's a pitch that puts a little more pressure on your elbow, and he was able to go to it.
Oh, yeah. It looked good. It looked good. There he is. He's still on the bench, and there's no one warming up. Might see him again.
Barrera steps in. Three-quarter delivery. Rodney, the true freshman. That is difficult on a right-handed hitter if he can find a dude, because you're going to give a little bit. Two-seamer catches the outside corner for Barrera on the day. He's lined to right, walked, drove in a run with a line drive single to center his last time up. Just misses with the bender. Did not get cheated there.
Been seeing a lot of that the first 3 games. 2-0, 3-1. Texas hitters have been taking some good hacks.
Payoff pitch. For a foul.
Blue left field line.
Was there a mistake out there?
It went right through him.
Miscue.
Security guy down there, the ball guy, just right between his legs.
This is outside, ball 4.
That was a good take. Tough pitch to take. Well, he's not too happy with it. He thought he made a good pitch. I mean, I thought he made a good pitch just off the plate.
Michael Cantu strides to the plate, looking for his first hit on the day. He's 0 for 2 in this one as he steps in. Just misses downstairs for ball 1. Michael, like most big men, Greg, likes to get those arms extended. He likes the ball out over the plate. Got a pitch to hit there and just missed it.
Yeah, we saw that Friday night. His first at bat, hit the ball to right center. One hop in the wall.
Turns on this one into the corner. This could drive in a run. Barrera on his horse, and he will score. 6-0 Texas.
Michael didn't get full extension on this one, but this is a pitch inside. Well, I guess he did get extended on that one. Looked like he had other things in mind, but just gets on top of it, gets it down the left field line. And the way UNLV's been playing these gaps here at UFC Dish Falk Field this weekend, that was going to be a run once it got down in that corner.
Squire did everything he could do, but when you're playing over in left center, the corners are going to lead to extra bases. Another inning where Texas scores with starting the inning, 2 outs and nobody on. Cantu reaches for the second time in this ball game. He's reached base twice in each of the first 3 frames, first 3 ball games. Casey Clements with an RBI single his last time up.
Got to give Ryan Russ some right there, making a one-handed play down there in the first base coach's box. Because when he misses them, I give him a hard time.
Skip Johnson coaching over at third. I never want to make that play. I don't want the ball back into the field of play. Bender in there for a strike. I never wanted one of my coaches to throw a foul ball back to the pitcher just because the pitcher might have a scrape on it. He might do something with it. Get him a new baseball.
I hear you.
Don't touch that. Don't let it go by you.
I'd always say, come on.
Ball.
I'd always say, throw it to me. Come
yeah.
on. Give me the ball back.
I don't want that ball back to the mound. Clements digs back in. Hump back, going to be a tough play out to center. It's going to fall in for a base hit. Coming in to score is Cantu, 7-0 Texas. Another one of those big swings, Greg. When you see a hitter take a big swing, you see Allen just one false step and then he just couldn't get there. And Cantu comes in to score.
Yeah, with 2 outs, he's off with the swing. No doubt he was going to score if that ball drops.
You said before the game you thought that.
Who was your pick?
That you said Casey Clements would. I had Mathis.
I had Big Fly. You had Mathis?
Yeah, I told you before.
You did not.
I did. Mathis is going to have another good day, and you said you thought that Casey Clements was going to have a good day. Both of them had good days.
They both have. We're both right.
Out to center, Allen calls it off, and that ends the frame, but not before Texas puts 2 more on the board. Michael Cantu rifles one down the left field line to drive in Barrera. 7-0 Texas. Texas softball returns to Longhorn Network, the 9-0 next Friday. The 9-0 Texas Longhorns watch Tierra Davis lead the 24th ranked Longhorns into the Texas Invitational as they face Abilene Christian at noon, Tulsa at 2:30. Catch all the action right here on LHN, streaming live on Watch ESPN and ESPN app. They have been playing outstanding softball to this point, winning again today. As Morgan Cooper, we were wondering if he would be back out, Greg, for another inning of work, and he is out here to work in the 8th.
15 pitches in that first inning. Pretty easy. Nice and easy was Morgan Cooper.
3-4-5 due for the Rebels. Squire steps in, 1 for 3 in this one.
He's been pitching some inter-squad games. I think he got up to 4 innings one time in an inter-squad. The pitch count has been up there, but it hasn't been this. And there's that curveball that you like.
I do, because it changes, you know, hitting his rhythm and timing, and you know, you've got to really tone it up to get to Morgan's fastball. If he can throw that breaker ball for a strike on a consistent basis, as a hitter, you're just already committed out in front. Your rhythm and timing is messed up immediately. Misses with a fastball. And the count evens. Almost looked like the change right there.
Yep, speed would say so. So he's not shying back from any pitch, which is good. He's getting frustrated in himself a couple of pitches, which is good.
Roller back to the mound. 1-3 on the putout for the first out here in the 8th. The last thing I would ask, Greg, I know you didn't have to go through it. We've talked a lot about him coming back and trusting that the surgery was good and everything's good. The next part about it is mound presence. You know, when you've got good mound presence, and he really did as a freshman,
yeah.
Then you stay away from it, and you really haven't been on the mound in a competitive atmosphere in nearly 24 months or 15 months at least. You know, how does your mound presence? I think that's something that I've enjoyed watching. He still has that same mound presence.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's human to get frustrated with yourself, and he's done on a couple pitches, turned around like, oh, like I overthrew that one, but he's always been that the demeanor is just like nice and easy. But not until he releases the ball, and then it's bulldog.
Popped up. Coming on is Gerwitz on the run, able to get there to make the play. He had to go a little further than he thought, but he's able to come up with it for the second out of the inning. Right there, he's saying, I got it, and he's thinking, ooh, I better turn the Jets on to get there. Nick Ames will step in. Ames 1 for 2 in this one. His first collegiate hit in the 4th. Good matchup right here. Watching Ames and BP. He's got tremendous power.
That's pop.
Cooper comes back with 2 good fastballs. Pitching depth has shown up, no question, in this series.
Oh, yeah. You can always tell by the 3rd game of a series the depth of pitching staffs. I'm not saying that UNLV's isn't as deep, but we saw the first 2 guys on Friday night. They pitched extremely well. Relievers came in yesterday, but as it gets to that last game, when the game is 7-0, you start to run guys out there who, for the first time, or they haven't pitched in a long time for certain reasons.
Diaz steps in. 0 for 3 today, but 2 of his 3 hits over the weekend have left the ballpark. He's on the all-mustache team.
I was asking Coach Stolte before the game to see a few guys with those, and guys grew them last year because their mascot is a Rebel, and the Rebel has that little curly Q, I guess Raleigh Fingers-ish mustache. A couple of them decided to keep it.
Never grown a mustache before. Had a beard, but there wasn't much of a mustache to go with the beard. crisply on the ground. Boswell could be a good play. Plants, comes to second in time. That is a nice play. Best defensive play of the day by Texas. Brett Boswell to his right. Plants that right foot, thinking first base right here, but sees I got a chance at second. Bottom of the 8th inning. Texas leads here 7-0. See the line in the ball game. Longhorn pitchers going for a shutout. Longhorn hitters will come to the plate with the 7, 8, 9 hitters here in the bottom of the 8th, and they will face right-hander Christian Myers coming on out of the UNLV bullpen. Myers is a right-hander, sophomore from Highlands Ranch, Colorado.
Well, sidearm delivery from Christian Myers. One thing is obvious, ball will sink or slider pitcher. Must make him elevate that pitch. Fastball to try to hit it. See that arm angle, he just kind of 3/4, but just whips it in there, doesn't finish too much.
Just with that arm slot and that arm angle, right-handers not going to be happy.
Pinch hitter. Nick's brother Ben.
Ben Kennedy will pinch hit. He pinched hit in Friday night's game. Redshirt sophomore from College Station. He'll be the pinch hitter. Kennedy steps in. First pitch up and away for ball one. That arm slot, no question, left-handers with a better opportunity to find the baseball because he's got a quick arm out of that. A lot of guys that come down under pull it way back, as you mentioned.
Like sling it. He like just pops it out of there from 3/4.
Almost a change-up grip that time. Our center field camera, you can see him go in and grip the ball. Looked like he had a circle grip.
Seems to me the way he whips it there just be hard to find a consistent release point. That's a good one.
The count goes full. He knocked that one out of the stadium through the gate.
Rolling around in the parking lot.
The payoff. Rodriguez over to Ames. First out of the inning. Travis Jones, excuse me. Tyler Rand was pinch hit for. Jones steps in. Your first movement as a right-handed hitter, you can see Jones move right there. You're going to move that front side to get some vision. Find the baseball.
That one Myers floated in there. It looked like it wanted to be that curve ball. Like that. Maybe, guess you can throw a cutter from there too. A little something with movement away from the right-hander.
Talking to guys who were submarine pitchers, they always thought about, I want to stay away from right-handers because a right-handed hitter's bailing. I don't want to make a mistake in him. I'm throwing it to where he's bailing too. I'm really looking forward to next weekend. We'll have all 4 games against Stanford starting on Thursday night. Those will be a fun series. 2 night games, 2-day games over the weekend.
6 Thursday, 6:30 Friday, 3:30 Saturday, 12:30 Sunday.
We'll have them all for you right here on the Longhorn Network. See the times again. Thursday, 6 Central, 6:30 Friday. As Greg said, 3:30 Saturday afternoon and 12:30 Sunday afternoon. We'll have all of them right here on Longhorn Network, and also you can watch on ESPN, ESPN app. Jones rips it into the corner. That's his second hit of the ball game. A good day for Travis Jones in his first start.
And a good job right there. Like you said, the first movement from a right-handed hitter is going to be bailing, but this guy, Travis Jones, stays right in there on that one. The ball was elevated, something you have to do with sidearm sinker ballers. Puts it down in that corner for an easy double.
Stan Stolte coming back out to the mound. I believe he's already motioned to the bullpen. We're going to have another pitching change. You get to this point, you're going to use your guys once you get to Sunday afternoon. There's no doubt about it.
Well, there's one more down there too. We might see one out and then another one get an out.
Well, I believe this is Bohal. We saw came in and got the win on Friday night. We thought we might see him in a closing type situation. He comes on here.
Did you feel like you were reading like Wrigley Field game times right there when you did that?
Well, that's
because you walk into the clubhouse at Wrigley and there's like 9 different starting times.
Well, there is, because they didn't have lights when I played there. It wasn't near as bad. It's worse now.
Did they have television?
Yeah. It was black and white, and the wheel didn't turn, and Harry Carey was talking about it. So, but Blaze Bohal comes under the game right now. On Friday evening, UNLV's bullpen was magnificent.
Yeah, he came in after Dean Kramer. You see right here, Kramer getting the strikeouts. Went through an easy 5 2/3 innings. And then Blaze Bohal comes in and finished Texas off after Yaz hit the homer in the 12th.
Kramer with a nice outing. Bohal got the win. For Bohal on the day, you look. We went 5 2/3, allowed just 1 hit. Blaze came in, went 2 innings, had 2 strikeouts, didn't allow a walk or a hit. And his 2 innings of work to come away with the victory.
7 2/3 innings from those 2 young men and only 1 hit. You see the numbers Friday, getting the first win of the season and the first win under Stan Stolte as the head coach.
So Gerwitz will come to the plate, his 5th plate appearance on the day. He is 1 for 4 in this one. He has doubled and scored back in the 5th. Double digits in hits for Texas now. 7 runs on 10 hits. Gerwitz has had a good series, 5 for 13 as he steps in here. With Jones's extra base hits, that's 5 today and 11 total in the series for Texas.
Well, we talked about it.
Slugging percentage.
In the opening. Extra base hits, score singles in front of you. Texas has done a good job the last 2 games.
Ball misses outside, and it's 2-0.
And then singles score extra base hits as well.
That's exactly right, but you get them mixed in there. No substitute for that slugging percentage. Good hitter's pitch coming to Gerwitz here. Just got underneath it. Will it stay in play? It does. Ames has it for the second out of the inning.
Trying to throw the ball around the infield there. And almost got by Brohall.
Well, UNLV has a little bit of an unusual thing. They don't throw it around after an out at first. The first baseman throws it back to the pitcher, and he goes back to the mound. And a lot of teams will throw it around after an out in the infield. They don't. Much like Stanford, we'll see next week, we'll throw it back to the mound.
I was going to say, we're about
after
to play
a strikeout.
another team that does that.
Yes. Boswell will step in.
Chase Sugar warming up for Texas in the bullpen. I'd like to see him in the 9th inning to get his second appearance of the season. There's Mr. Sugar. Freshman from Bridge City, Texas. He's always ready to take the ball.
2-0 to Boswell. Speed laid off of it. Texas 5 for 12 with runners in scoring position today.
Green light.
Down the left field line. Fading foul. 13 for 38 over the weekend. That'll get it done. Runners in scoring position. Anytime you're over that 330 mark, you're doing a pretty good job.
Up 7 in the 8th and got a green light on the 3-0 pitch right there.
Boswell 0 for 4 in this one. Coach Garrido trying to get Brett going. Good offensive player. Build some confidence. Lost him upstairs. Striding to the plate. Now he is our most dependable player of the game, powered by Chevy Silverado, is Patrick Mathis. He has been outstanding again today. 2 for 3, a homer and a double. He scored a couple of runs. Chevy Silverado, I know where 2 of those are.
So you have something with people in the truck that your pick to click wins the dependable?
Yeah, you know, I do. I mean, all right, you got to have, some pull. Come on, partner.
All right. It's early.
0-1 to Mathis. Bender catches the outside corner, and quickly he's down the count 0-2.
67 miles an hour.
To have that pitch back. That was a good pitch to hit for Mathis. You don't get many of those 0-2 like that.
This one, as a pitcher, when you let go, you're already flinching.
Yeah.
Because you know.
You'd like to have it back, reach out and put a parachute on it?
Yes.
Got him. Breaking ball away, and that ends the inning. We go to the ninth. Texas 3 outs away from winning the series. We come back for the top of the ninth. Some of the storylines over the weekend. There's no question that you look at it, he showed some power as Patrick Mathis hit a couple balls out of the ballpark. But I know, Greg, one of the 2 things that you were really noticeable is how the freshman impact and Morgan Cooper.
Yeah, Morgan, I'll start with Morgan. Him returning from Tommy John surgery is huge for this pitching staff, huge for this team. He's a leader of that staff. Good to see him back on the mound. And those freshmen did not really play like freshmen in their first series. I didn't see any jitters, no nerves. They played like upperclassmen, came in and got some hits, got some ribbies, stole some bags. A good weekend for those two young men. And like I said, good to see Morgan Cooper back.
Really did a nice job making his second appearance of the season. Went 2 innings on Friday night. Chase Sugar is out. As you can see right there, he really did a nice job. Struggled a little bit with his command early in that first inning, but
it's only fitting because, I mean, you're a freshman.
Absolutely.
You have that, the emotions going. You have everything. It's the first game of the season. Opening day. Freshman getting the ball. Should seem a little calmer today, although don't see him being too calm on the mound ever. With the bulldog type attitude he takes to that mound.
Kennedy stays in the game in left field. Also defensively is. Vitrin will step in. Off-speed Goodwin in there for a strike.
I would like to thank Aletha Jackson, Nana, out of Bridge City, letting me know the correct pronunciation of Sugar.
Not know.
Thanks to everyone in Bridge City. I told him I was just going to call him Sugar T.
There you go.
That'd be a good nickname. Comes in, throws 3 strikes, 3 pitches, gets an out.
We have a pinch hitter coming to the plate. Max Smith will be the pinch hitter.
This weekend, the Texas bullpen, Friday night, 8 innings, 5 hits, 6 walks. Saturday and Sunday, yesterday and today's game combined 8 innings, 5 hits, and 1 walk.
First pitch swinging on the ground, out to second. Clements to Clements, and Longhorns 1 out away from winning the series. Tormentilla, Vince Tormentilla will be the pinch hitter coming to the plate. Came on to pinch it in yesterday's game and played in behind the plate, got a base hit to center. He is the true freshman from Las Vegas as he steps in.
Taormina came in and at least a single to center in his first college at bat.
Nasty knee buckler right there.
And Chase just seems more comfortable. I mean, he just seems that breaking ball right there a lot better than the ones he threw Friday night. That's 94 on the black.
Good morning, good afternoon, and almost good night right there. Longhorn fans on their feet. And the Longhorns win it. 7-0, and they win the series. See the final totals there. No runs, 5 hits, and no errors for UNLV. 7 runs, 10 hits, 1 error for Texas. Greg, one of the things that you wanted to see is how the freshmen would react. How the freshman pitchers react in your view?
I thought they did outstanding. I mean, to get the jitters out one game or 1 inning, I thought they all came in and pitched extremely well, extremely confident, as well as the players in the field. I mean, from Friday night till today, this team progressively got better all weekend. They got the extra base hits. They got their walks. They cut down on their walks as a pitching staff. So I think it was overall a real good weekend for Texas.
Well, I do too. I mean, I think some of the things that we saw, I really liked what you saw in a veteran left-hander yesterday, and Ty coming out, sort of riding the ship, giving some length to their starters. You come back today, I thought Connor fought it a little bit early in it, fought his command, but able to stay in it. But you gave some of the numbers. I thought the bullpen and the depth of this pitching staff showed up as the weekend went on.
Yeah, we knew coming into this weekend that they were going to throw multiple arms because they have that much talent and that much depth in the Texas bullpen. Good to see Morgan Cooper back. Good to see all the pitchers be able to get in, get their feet wet, because there's a big series coming up next weekend.
Well, there is a big series. We'll have them right here for you on LHN. Again, 6 o'clock Thursday night, 6:30 Friday, 3:30 Saturday afternoon and 12:30 on Sunday.
I won my dinner against Matt Williams.
There you go.
Texas won the series. I win a dinner from Matt Williams.
There you go. Let's listen to the eyes of Texas. As we hear the eyes of Texas as Texas wins the first series of the year against UNLV, 2-1. We talked a little bit about what's seen for the pitching, talked a little bit about the hitting, no extra base hits. That's another key, I think, to what took place over the weekend. The Longhorns had 11 extra base hits and 2 balls out of the ballpark in the course of 3 games.
Well, it can change an inning very easy. If you get a single and you get a double after that, or a triple and a single after that, extra base hits lead to runs. You talk about it all the time, Keith, that slugging percentage, especially here in this ballpark, is good.
Turn around this week again, Thursday. A 4-game series starts Thursday against Stanford. Would you look at that series where you see the starting pitchers probably will go from 60 to 70 pitches to 75 to 90, I would think, over the next starts?
I would think so. I mean, the first live game situation, they're going to have some soreness this week, but they'll be able to get extended out more next week. Stanford's going to come in here. They got a very talented staff, but I think the Texas starting pitching will be more comfortable their second time out and even better after that.
Thanks. Appreciate it. Final score today, Texas wins 7-0. Texas baseball returns to LHN Thursday, 6 o'clock Central as Texas takes on Stanford. Coming up next, it's Longhorn Legends Living Room, 2005 championship for Greg Swintel, our entire crew. I'm Keith Moreland and saying so long from Disch Falk Field.